Hey guys, Rob here and welcome back to Rob's Model Cars. Now I've got another Ferrari model review for you guys today, and this is another model that I wanted to fill in some missing gaps in my Ferrari collection. Now, not a massive fan of this particular model also today, but it is one that I am missing in the collection. Now, this one only just arrived a couple of days ago, and I actually bought this one in the Black Friday sale. So this one has taken a long time to reach to me, but what I'm going to show you today is the BBR Ferrari California T in the open top version. Now this is from the 84th Geneva Auto Show in 2014, and it is finished in a dark metallic red color. Now it's really hard to find one of the desired colors for this model. There are some on eBay, but they're just super expensive. So I bought this one for 180 euros on the Black Friday sales. I got this one on the outlet from BBR Model Store, and I do plan to repaint this one and fit some aftermarket wheels. So I took advantage of the cheap price, being that I have the ability to pull this model apart and repaint it. So this one will be repainted because I'm not really a fan of the color, but you'll have to wait and see for the custom model reveal video what color I paint this model and what color wheels or what sort of wheels I put on this model. But I thought I'd do a review of this particular model before I actually pull it apart and change the color on it. So let's get this one on the turntable and have a closer look at this Ferrari California T made by BBR Models. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this Ferrari California T. Now we'll start with the base first. These are the older BBR style bases which were made to fit in those flip top boxes. So technically you can't really lock in a plexiglass display cover on these bases because it doesn't have the little edge around the base to do so. They still are a leatherette base. As you can see, this one has the white stitching. It still does have the nice metal cut California T badge, another Ferrari emblem at the back, and you've got the limited edition plaque on the back, which is the same as on new models. Now this one is limited to 259 pieces, and this is 205. Now overall, as I said, I am really not a fan of this color at all. Rosso Corsa would have been better, or even some of the other colors, Giallo, Tristrato, even Pearl White maybe would look pretty good, but this color just doesn't do it for me at all. But overall, I think they've got the stance and the proportion of the model pretty good. Yeah, overall, I think the execution is pretty good by BBR, considering that this model was probably released, I'd have to say probably around 5 to 6 years ago, I would guess, as an estimate, since this was the 2014 Geneva Auto Show model. The model's usually 1 to 2 years after the actual car is released, so I'd say this is probably around the 5 years old. Now let's talk about the details on the model. So we'll start with the front of the model. There's no photo etch in the front. It just has the big California style slatted grille with the Cavallino in the center. You can see the radiator plastic piece in behind, which looks okay. Does have some photo etch mesh either side of the mouth though. This is open and perforated. Now it does have a nice little 3D Ferrari emblem on the nose of the model, and they've done a reasonably good job on the headlight detail as well. You do have the DRL running lights up the top and then your projector lens in there, and they do use nice clear plastics for the headlight lenses. Now there is a vented bonnet on this particular California, and as you can see there's a couple of pieces of mesh in here, but they are solid mesh. Now if we move around to the side of the car, again you've got another vent here. Now this is mesh, but it is solid. It is metal, but just solid. You've got a little resin turn signal on the side of the body here, and you've also got the great BBR Ferrari Scuderia shields. Now these are really nice. They're a 3D embossed logo, and they look very accurate. Good job on the mirrors, nice reflective material used in behind. And the windscreen wipers on this model are in metal, in case you're curious. They're not plastic, they are metal, and they use a nice clear plastic for the front window as well. Not much to see on the door or the sill of this model. The sill is just in body colour. You've got your door handle replicated, which pops out three-dimensional. Rear haunches of the model, pretty much standard there. You do have a fuel filler flap on this side, on the left hand side of the model, or right hand side I should say. And if we have a look at the back of the model, they've done a really good job on the tail lights. They use really nice red coloured plastic or resin for the tail lights, so they look really good. You do have your Ferrari script badge on the top of the boot lid there. And you've also got a nice bit of detailing in the exhaust pipes. You've got your red reflector lights down the bottom here also. Third brake light up the top, and your silver Ferrari Cavallino badge on there as well. Rear diffuser on this model is just, well, it's basically just a matte black with some more red reflectors in there as well. And of course it's wearing the California T number plate. So reasonably good detail around the outside of the model. I always felt that the California was pretty soft in terms of not very muscular. And yeah, I guess that's why it's got the title of being more of a ladies Ferrari than actually something a lot tougher like a 458 or something like that. So yeah, overall not too bad. I mean, even though I'm not a fan of the colour of the paintwork, it is flawless application of this metallic red. There's no imperfections or flaws anywhere. These models are really painted excellent. So no complaints there. Now let's talk about the stance. I think the earlier BBR models sat a little bit high. I've looked at some pictures on the internet, and I think this model does sit a little bit too high. It needs to go down maybe 2 or 3 millimeters just to look a little bit better, but I do think it does sit a little bit too high. And I'm not really too fussed about these standard wheels on the California either, these very plain 5-spoke wheels. They do have metal lug nuts in there. You've got your Ferrari center cap decal, and you do have a tyre valve stem on there as well. Tyres are okay, tread pattern on there, but there is no exterior tyre branding on there at all. And the brakes are pretty good. They've done a nice job on the carbon ceramic brake rotors in there. And of course it's wearing the silver calipers with the Ferrari script on there. So that goes the same for the back, the same quality of wheels on the back, just obviously like most Ferraris, slightly bigger profile tyre on the back compared to the front. That pretty much runs through the whole range of Ferrari cars. None of them have this same diameter front and rear. Just an Italian exotic thing, I guess. So yeah, pretty good detail on the wheels, even though the wheels are pretty boring in my opinion, but the detail of the brakes in there are pretty good. So I am going to change the wheels on this model as well as repaint it, so these will be going bye-bye. Okay, now it is a sealed resin model, so nothing opens. There's no engine to see, there's no boot lid to see here, but it does have quite a lot of detail on the interior. So you can see, even though it's all black, this being with the convertible top down, gives you a really good view of the interior. So they've done a nice job on the dashboard, all the air conditioning vents, speaker grills, nice TV screen in the center. The instrumentation behind the steering wheel is very good also. You do have your metal gear shifter paddles. There's some nice button decals on the steering wheel also, which looks really good. And the center console does have the switch bridge down the center. Now all the seats are just black, but they do have a nice bit of pattern to them. And they do have cloth seat belts in the model as well. Now there's no carpet in this model, but it does have like a textured floor panels both in the passenger and the driver's side. So overall I think the detail is pretty good. I think just a lot of it is lost because it is all black. Needless to say, there is a little bit of detail in the door trims as well. You do have a little speaker grille, little tweeter up the top and a woofer in the middle of the door. There is simulated stitching all over the seats, and you do have the Cavallino on the headrests, and there's actually also a Cavallino on the back section as well between the two seats. So yeah, overall pretty good detail for the interior of this model, but you would expect that for this price point of a sealed resin model. Now probably a lot of you are asking, well, why didn't I buy the the Burago version? They do a signature series of the California, but as a model to custom build and to make even better, I just feel that I like starting with these resin models from a detail standing point. This has just got so much better detail than a Burago, so that's why I picked this one up. I feel pretty cheap, and I will be doing a full customization on it. So I've done a video on how to pull apart a resin model, so if you are curious how that happens, go into the how-to playlist. There is a video where I go in full detail on how to disassemble a resin model in case you want to do that yourself. But this one will be pulled apart. As I said, I will be repainting it in automotive 2-pack colors, and I will be doing a wheel swap on it and lowering the model as well because it sits too high for my liking. But overall, for an older model by BBR, I got this pretty cheap. So look, I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's a pretty good effort by BBR for a car that is probably not that popular in the Ferrari lineup. But that's basically going to wrap up today's review of this Ferrari California T made by BBR Models. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Don't forget to smash that like button, and you can follow me on social media as well. I also have an eBay store where I do sell some of my models on, and I do sell some rare model parts also. All the links to the social media and the eBay store are on the home page of this YouTube channel. So just click those links and it'll just take you straight there. So that's basically going to wrap up today's video. So I hope you enjoyed it. But until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.